Yo, what's going on, guys? Kashi here. When I first got into the high ticket sales space, I shot up from 0 to 10K a month in literally just 6 months. 6 months. But here's the truth, I got stuck there for another half a year straight because I just couldn't figure out how to break past that barrier and that ceiling of 10K a month. And I kept swinging and punching. And then one day, everything just clicked for me. Everything changed. And I cracked the code and scaled to 40K a month. And I'm still in this industry to this day. And in this video, I'm basically going to break down exactly why most sales reps stay stuck at 10K a month for the rest of their life. And more importantly, how to actually break through it. That way you don't waste months like I did spinning your wheels. So the number one mistake that the average 10K a month sales rep does that prevents them from getting past that barrier is they stop networking and don't look for new roles. Now, listen to me. At the beginning, just take any opportunity, and you should take any opportunity, and that's fine because it builds skill set, it builds grit, it builds repetition. But eventually, you're going to outgrow that opportunity, and that offer will limit you. Maybe the commission structure is weak. Maybe the price point is too low. Or maybe the offer just doesn't have enough calls for you to take. Either way, if you don't network and you don't line up other opportunities and look at other rooms to play in, you'll just end up staying at 10K a month forever. And trust me, I've been there. And the biggest reason as to why I stayed stuck was because I didn't look for new opportunities. I'll give you context on this. When I was doing 10K a month, I was working around 8 hours of availability every single day. And that was like pretty much maximum availability. I got booked with, 6, 7 book calls every single day. However, I wasn't able to get past 10K a month. I kept staying at 8 to 12K, and I did sales training, I did objection handling. I got better and better and better, but I got to the point where pretty much the only people that I didn't close were the ones that didn't have the money. So it wasn't a me issue. It's because the opportunity was too small. The ticket price was too low for me to make the money that I wanted to make. And at the end of the day, I had to make a decision that do I stay here for the rest of my life, or do I actually take that leap of faith and jump to a new opportunity? So the biggest takeaway here is if you're at 10K a month right now, make sure you are networking and applying to new opportunities. Cool. So the biggest takeaway here is don't marry your first opportunity, right? Don't be so attached to that first offer. You will find multiple offers down the line, and it's totally normal for you to switch opportunities through your sales career. Cool. Now, number two, and in my opinion, this is like the biggest misconception in this space. You can't hit and break 10K a month barrier by just brute force. It's not possible. You have to use leverage. Now, here's the thing. When you're starting off and imagine when you were at $0 a month and you were making absolutely $0 online, 100% to go from 0 to 10K a month is definitely very simple to do. It's done by brute force. It's done by repetition. It's done by doing more calls, working more hours, stacking more follow-ups. That's how you hit 10K a month. And that's very, very true. However, for you to go from like 10 to 40 to 50 to 100K a month in straight commissions, that is not going to work. And once you're at that level, the next jump isn't about effort, it's about efficiency. You need to focus on high leverage activities. For example, making a personal brand. That way, opportunities start coming inbound to you instead of you reaching out to people. Sharpening your sales skill set so that your call times get shorter. You're able to close at a higher close rate. That way you don't need to take many calls. Or learning how to actually land higher ticket opportunities and connect with higher level people so you can be in the right circles. These are all efficient ways for you to get to past 10K a month. Now, that doesn't mean you don't work hard. Of course you work hard, but it's a combination of both. And the reason I say this is a year or two ago, trust me, I was that guy. I remember when I was stuck at 10K a month for 6 months, literally stuck at that income level. I would tell myself, maybe it's me. Like, I need to double my call volume. I need to learn more sales skills. I need to practice more role play. I need to just, brute force myself. And what it felt like was, imagine a guy that's boxing, standing in the dark and just punching in the dark. That was literally me, just punching and punching and punching and hoping for something to land. That doesn't work to get to those higher income levels. And at the end of the day, I just needed to be smarter. I invested in more mentorship. I refined my tonality, my objection handling, and started tracking my data properly, connecting with more high level people. And instead of spraying my energy everywhere, I focused on the 20% of actions that actually move the needle. And that's when my income leveled up. So Biggest takeaway here is at 10K, stop trying to work harder. Ask yourself, what are the highest leverage uses of my time right now? And shift into that leverage mode and get rid of this hustle mode. Now, step 3, and this is unfortunately really common in this industry because it's filled with young guys and girls, it's ego. Ego is the silent ceiling. It'll keep you trapped at 10K a month because you think you already made it. The amount of times I see people saying that, hey, I make 10K a month. I'm a top closer. I'm the best closer. I'm that guy. And they act like they're that person. It's not true. 10K a month is good for sure. It gets you out of survival mode. But 10K a month is nowhere near being the top 10% of sales reps, top 1% of sales reps. Like, you're nowhere close to that at the end of the day. And once people hit 10K a month, they feel successful compared to their old selves because this is where many stop growing. Because they think that they know enough and they stop seeking mentorship. They stop being coachable. They don't ask questions. They settle. But the truth is, the difference between the people who make 10K a month and 40K a month, it isn't more talent. It's actually more learning and more knowledge and more experience. And the reason I say this is because I was that guy. When I hit 10K a month in 6 months at 18 and I was able to travel the world, I'm not going to lie, I felt like a king. I was traveling around Thailand, Bali with the boys, making money. And honestly, it was the best periods of my life for sure. I thought I had sales figured out and I thought it was like Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, honestly. But the truth was, I only knew enough to play it small. And once I dropped the ego and reinvested into coaching and I realized that I still had a hell of a long way to go and I had a lot of blind spots, once I humbled myself and got the help and evaluated, my income exploded. I see it all the time with reps too. The ones who plateau are the ones who just stop learning at the end of the day. And a really good example of this is my community, DSA, where I basically teach people how to get into high ticket sales as well. And every single person in DSA and the most successful people in DSA are the ones that have zero ego. They ask me the most questions. They have no humility. Like they basically are very down to earth and they're just willing to do whatever it takes to get better. And those are the students that do the best. For example, I literally just hopped off a call last night with one of my students, Alan, who did $6,500 in straight commissions profit in the last 2 weeks. And believe it or not, he started high ticket sales a month or two ago. 2 months ago, he started high ticket sales and now he's on track to do 10K a month. If any of you were in his position, you'd be like, damn, I'm the king. In 2 months, I hit 10K a month. But for him, he basically told me, Kashi, I don't really care about the money. I don't really care about the profit. I just want to be the best possible sales rep. And I know I still have a long way to go. And as soon as he said that, I knew he was going to win. So the biggest takeaway here is stay humble, stay grounded, learn from other people, and always look to improve and be the best possible version of yourself. So I hope you guys got some value out of that. And if you listen to this whole thing and you're watching this video and you're stuck at 10K a month, 5K a month, 8K a month, and you can't seem to get over these barriers, what I'll do is I'll leave my Instagram in the description. That way you can send me a message and ask me any questions you have and I might be able to give you some tips. Other than that, yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.